Okay, welcome back to another CS450 tutorial. In this tutorial, I'd like to talk about Ctags and CScope, what they are and what they're used for. So Ctags and CScope are two tools which are basically doing the same thing. Some people consider CScope to be more powerful than Ctags, but I digress. What they are they are any text-based, source code-based indexing tools. So the usual usage pattern of these tools is that you point them at your repository of code, let them create a database file, and then subsequently you can query this file with a tool or directly from your editor. Now, as a precursor, I use Vim, the extended Vi editor. If you do not use Vim, I recommend that you look up a cross-reference from your editor to CScopes and Ctags. I've looked around and I've already found one for Nano, I've found one for gedit, and I will put them in the description of this video. So for the rest of this tutorial, I'm going to use Vim. So let's get started. I'm going to cover Ctags first, as it's a little bit simpler, and then we'll look at CScope. So Ctags has the following command, Ctags, and the first thing you'll want to do is traverse to your code base. So in this case, it's if you've followed all the steps so far, it will be under home CS350-OS161/OS161-1.11, and the contents will be your actual code base. So the first step you want to take is create the database file. You do this by executing ctags --R, which stands for recursive. So ctags is going to look in all directories and recurse into all directories to find source code files and index them. So we hit enter, goes really quick. We'll have a look and we see that this tags file has been created. Now the contents of these tags files, I'll show you here, they're a little crazy. You don't really have to know what this is. This is just what Ctags uses to query, to look up your queries later. But you can see there's all kinds of like type references to line numbers and that kind of business. Okay, so how do we use it? So I use Vim, so I will show you with Vim how to do this. The one thing that's important is when you created a tags file, you need to open source code always relative to where the tags file is. If you do not do this, then so in the tags file, the path names are not absolute, they're only relative to where you created the file. So we'll do it from this folder. Let's go into current main.c. And this is the one place where you've dabbled around a bit for assignment 0. So for me, you see that I've added the hello function down here. Now, let's suppose that I didn't know what this hello function was, and I wanted to have a look at it. I wanted to open the file and look at the code that implements hello. So the way to do this is to either quit out of here and look for it manually, or use Ctags, query the Ctags database, and have the editor open it right away. So to do this in Vim at least, you would type, and I'm typing in the bottom here to show you what you want to type, control right square bracket. So you put your cursor over the symbol that you'd like to look up. So I'm going to put it over hello, and I hit control right angle bracket, and Vim will open the appropriate file. As you can see down here, it opened current main hello.c, and put the cursor right on top of hello. Great. So now I can continue. Let's say I wanted to look up where the implementation of kprintf is. I do the same key combination, and here we are. Right in the center of the screen, we see kprintf, it's the implementation. Now, whenever you traverse down one of these symbols, what happens is that the symbol gets put on a stack. So if I wanted to go back where it was previously, all I have to do is hit Control T, and I'll type it out again down here. You want to hit Control T, and it will take me back to the last file that I was in, the last position I was in. I can hit Control T again, and then back where we started. Okay, so that's Ctags in a nutshell. I'm going to remove the tags file and talk about CScope next. So CScope is the same idea. We'll use cscopes-R to look at recursively at all the files and create a database file. Now, when I hit enter, CScope creates a database file, but then goes into this interactive mode. So in the bottom, you can see my cursor is flashing here. You can see there's a bunch of different things I can search for. I can search for C symbols, global definitions, and so on. So let's say I wanted to search for my hello function again. So I'll go down here under find this global definition. So I want to find the global definition of hello. I'll type it in. And it opens the correct file and puts the pointer or the cursor right there. If I quit now, I'll be back here. So you also see that if there's only one hit for a file, for a whatever your search term is, CScope will automatically open the hit, the search result, in your editor. Now, if there's multiple different symbols that match your query, then you'll be presented with a list up top here. So at the top you see 0 hello C line 13, which is void hello. So this is the only match that we found. If we found more, you would see a list and you could pick from the list which one you'd want to look at. What else can we do? We can do things like functions calling this function. So let's say we wanted to know every function that calls kprintf. Well, we can type that in. And here's a list of all the functions that call kprintf. So I found over 224 lines. So there's quite a few kprintfs in our source code. And again, if I just wanted to open one of these, I could either traverse down to the one I want to open. So let's say I wanted to open this one. Or I could just hit the number. So I could just press 8 and it would also open it. So nice little shortcut. So the other cool thing with CScope. Oh, this is interesting. So there is a plugin for Vim for CScope. So I'm going to show you again in my hello function. So I already have it installed. And what the plugin basically does is it installs a bunch of shortcuts. So here you see a bunch of my shortcuts that I'm using when I'm using CScope. Basically what these let you do is do the same things that you can do with Ctags. So I can traverse over this test and hit Control right bracket, but instead of just going there, it will actually invoke CScope and then show you some search results in the bottom. It basically behaves the exact same way as it would if you were in interactive mode, but it would just show you directly in your editor. So in this case, I've typed in test, and you see it found two possible functions named test. There's the test in hello C, which is the one that I'm actually calling, and then there's another one in test bin forktest.c. So again, I can just press 1 and hit enter, and the cursor will be put to where I need it. CScope is also natively supported in Vim, so you can type in :cs, which will give you a list of CScope commands. One thing that's really cool with this is you can use the T option. So you can perform a query and then type T, and it will find all the assignments to the symbol that you have highlighted. So for example, if I go over top of this S here and type in Control/T, it will show me all places that have assignments to a variable called T. So this is actually a terrible example, so let's see if I can find something else. No, probably not. I chose poor variable names. Okay, well, bad example. Wow. Anyway, the point is that there is different plugins that you could possibly use. This is the basic tutorial for CScope and Ctags. I hope this will help you.